Okay guys, before we start the video, just quickly, First Man is so much more than just a YouTube channel. We've got digital products, we've got physical products. The digital products include courses, books, ebooks, etc. And the physical products is everything from supplements to clothing to grooming products to the paperback physical copy of our book. So the two links will be below. Go and check them out, guys. And now back to the video you came here to watch. Okay, guys, before we start the video, I just want to let you know that the new First Man boxers, the extra length boxers, are now in stock. And you can find them, obviously, using the links below. All the details will be there. You go to the website. The reason behind the boxers is guys who go to the gym will understand. The guys who have got naturally bigger legs will understand. As soon as you start adding muscle and size to your legs, normal off-the-shelf boxers, you put them on, great, okay, they're sort of fitting. You move around a little bit, you go for a walk, you sit down, they ride up. They don't, and after you've washed them 2 or 3 times, they ride up and they pinch around your groin. Now, I don't know what you guys are into, but I'm not into rearranging myself in public in front of women, kids, whatever. It's just a little bit sus. But what can you do? It's just super uncomfortable, especially if you're wearing jeans or something. So, with that in mind, and do you know what? I'm actually wearing a pair of boxers right now from Calvin Klein, and I'm sat here right now, and I swear to God, they've turned into briefs. They've ridden up, they've turned into briefs. And I've got my boxers arriving in the next 2 days or whatever. I've ordered a whole bunch of pairs, and I will wear nothing but those boxers because they are the most comfortable. I've got a sample pair here. Obviously, I can't wear them every day. And I've probably worn them once a week for the last 6 months. And every time I go out for a walk, go and get some food, jump in the car, jump out, I'll just there'll be a moment where I just randomly catch myself and think, and I'll be walking back into the house up the stairs or whatever, and I'll be like, my boxes haven't moved. Or they have, but they're still comfortable. They've risen up like a half an inch. We've got what we did is we made sure around the bottom of the boxers that the fabric was a little bit thicker, so it stays, it hugs, and it's thinner at the bottom than it is at the top. Not like a cone, it's not like that, but it's very subtle difference. But it means that it hugs your leg at the bottom and it stays in place. And the materials used are just top level. Okay, you've all seen pictures. You can go and see them on the website. The black pair is on there. The grey pair, I've got to get a photo once they arrive here. So if you want to play it safe, order the black pair just in case you don't know what the greys are going to look like. But yeah, I wear a size medium of my own boxers, and then I wear large of everybody else's. So that goes to show what size you should be buying. Okay, so if I'm 95 kg, 6'2", my legs are pretty big. They're bigger than the average guys, but they're not massive because I don't naturally have big legs and I've got low body fat percentage. So that's for the medium. Okay. If you're just a normal guy off the street who still wants to use these, but you don't have big legs, you've just been going to the gym and you don't really have any size on them yet, buy the small, they will still fit. Okay, they're not going to be baggy, they're not whatever. They will still fit and they will still fit good. I just like the medium because they really hug my leg and they don't move. They just stay further down the thigh. They stay there all day. And also, I think they look fucking great when they're on. I think they look fantastic. So, that's my sales pitch, guys. That's my spew. And now moving on to the video. Okay, so the purpose of this video is you don't have to live the traditional male life that is laid out in front of you. I've always promoted this on this channel, but I felt compelled to speak about it today. I don't know why, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's the Mr. International video that I made recently. I loved making that, guys. That sparked something new inside of me. The way I said to you guys, balling on a budget, having houses in multiple places, things like the straight seven system, these things that really just trigger something, the other side of male life, like that. I still remember the emotion I felt making that video to this day. It was a Friday night. I wasn't going anywhere. I was having a quiet night in. I was just sat in the garage making content, and I had all these pictures lined up ready. And this probably took me 7 hours to put together, 2 hours to film. I was like, oh God, I'm drained, but I had so much passion for that idea. And I've got so much passion for the Mr. International thing of how guys should, instead of just going, I'm going to put 1 million into one house. Yeah, okay, I semi understand the idea, but wouldn't you rather have four houses worth 250,000 in different places around the world and then just rent in the country that's most expensive? You rent in the UK, you rent in the US because it could be expensive in certain areas, and then you actually buy houses in areas where it's cheaper, but the opportunity for the price of that property to go up is much higher because we've had our booms, especially in the UK. You really what you think a one bedroom flat in London is going to be worth 2 million in the next 10 years? Like we've hit the ceiling. They can't keep going up too much higher. It's just getting silly now. It's rising at such a rate the wages can't keep up. So like that gets me going now. The fact that you'd be able to use the same money to have a better life setup. And you look at the traditional worlds, and people will say to you, go to school, get good grades, go to university, get a good job, meet a woman, settle down, have a couple kids, get married. It's just it's so out of touch with the modern era, more so than ever. It's so out of touch. There's so much more that we can be doing now. And I just want you guys to know like how far you can push this shit. And the main purpose of this video is it's not necessarily how much you have. It's what you do with it. And that's what I want to teach you guys. This is all life setup 101. I've always explained this to you guys. And as the channel is about to change as I go full time on the stream platform, I really like I still upload content, but it won't be the same. I really want to hammer this point home. You know, if there's one thing that I want to be known for, it'll be this video. And or at least the point in this video. I don't want you guys to chase millions just so you can go and buy a Bugatti and a Victorian manor house with 20 bedrooms. Because you'll jump in the Bugatti and it'll be fun. You'll drive around, okay, yeah, cool, everyone's looking at me, this is great, I've got a buzz. I'm going to drive back to my big house, okay, it's all decorated, I finished it, it looks great. Okay, well, what am I going to do? There's nobody here. It's big, it's old, it's cold, it's boring. I've got 20 bedrooms, yeah, but you can only sleep in one. I've got 14 bathrooms, you can only shit in one. And this is the point I want to hammer home to you guys. It's like I live in this penthouse in a quieter area of the UK, but still it has everything you need, right? It still has an amazing nightlife. There's it's basically got everything I need. It's perfect. It's a great balance. Like I won't live here forever. I doubt I'll do much more than a year here until the platform is fully up and running, and fully functional. But there's not much more I need, and this place costs me 1375 per month. Then I have, obviously some utilities on top of that, but it's not too crazy. And the other day, like me and my best girl friends, like my best girl mate, we were outside just working. She had her laptop, I had my notepads, we were doing some stuff out there. And she just stopped and she was like, this is unbelievable. Like, do you ever stop and think your life's amazing? I was like, yeah, all the time. All the time I just stop and I'm like, my life is so fucking cool. And here's the thing, this is the point I'm making, right? I'm not just trying to brag. My place is 1375 per month plus utilities. We're talking maybe 16 per month, okay? And because I paid that up front, that's why it's cheaper. I always do 6 months up front, otherwise it would be 15 just on just on the rent alone. But then the fire table was like £800. And then the two sofas were £500. I think £500 each. Yeah, okay. So, you're talking like collectively with rent, with everything, it's like £3,000 to have that set up. That's not a lot of money. Okay, I'm sure there's people who have spent 300,000 on, going to a Michelin star restaurant and buying the oldest wine possible and having the most expensive foods and having Rolls Royces pick them up door to door and then staying in the most lavish hotel in London for the night, and they've dropped 300,000 and people are like, damn, that guy's a baller. But I guarantee he's not having as much fun as I was. I guarantee if I got a few of my friends round and we sat there, it's just like, this is all you really need. Like, it's good to have stuff. Never let anybody tell you it's not good to have stuff. But it's what you do with that stuff. It's what you do with your time. It's what you do with your money. It's what you do with your life. It's how you make things work for you. This is life setup 101. This is what people will never fucking understand. And when you finally figure it out, everything clicks for you. Everything is so much fun. Like having purposeful intentions, having purposeful items, having purposeful purchases. You know, things that everything that you have. You know, people call it, I think, essentialism, but I don't quite think it's that, because it's not essential for me to have a fire table. It's not, but it's something that's enjoyable. It's something that I can sit at there, light it up, sit out there at night, you know, have a nice glass of wine. You know, you've got 2 or 3 people there, you're all having a chat, you can order some food. It's very basic shit that most people could do, but it's just, I have a rooftop patio, you know, and I can buy a very good telescope, £1,500, okay? Nothing really in the big picture. Well, then we can sit out there and stargaze on certain nights when it's like, oh, there's going to be a meteor shower. It just gives you fun shit to do. It gives you an event. And this is the way I look at life, guys. And this is what I want to translate through the camera. Is that, like, this isn't just a video on how to spend your money. I'm trying to communicate a point across to you here about thinking differently. Okay, that all happened, but it's almost like a metaphor for everything else that you do. Okay, so like, guys will be 30 years old and they'll be saying stuff like, "Oh, if I don't find somebody soon, I'm gonna be alone forever." I use that same sort of thinking again, and I look at the world from an analytical perspective and how I'm going to enjoy my life the most. And I'm like, well, I'm in my peak now. Like, I didn't look like this before. I didn't have these same things before. It's never been easier to attract women than it is now. Wouldn't this be the worst time to go and get married and have a couple kids and whatever? You know, I look at the average age of a Victoria's Secret model is like 28 years old. Okay? What that tells me is, because I do believe women peak at like 23 in terms of beauty. That's just beauty. That's not overall peak. But if the average Victoria's Secret model is like 28, well, there's certain women that take care of themselves. They have longevity. So, you know, instead of looking at traditional life, looking at it the traditional way of make money, get a good house, fill it with pointless shit, go and marry a woman before it's too late, before nobody wants you. There's a whole other side of male life that I've spoken to you guys about before. This could even be called part 2. Well, part 3, actually. I think I made another one before, where there's men like me or people like me that just think it's not even outside of the box. We just think completely differently in a whole different fucking dimension. And I look at the world and I just think if I was like a 40-year-old man, let's say I just turned 40, I would be like, I'm going to date women who are 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. The ones that are high level, that are beautiful, that still have youth on their side, but they have the sophistication on top of that. And I'm still young enough to be able to just travel the world, enjoy myself, do cool shit. I don't see the rush there. I really don't see the rush. Everybody kind of panics and they're like, but I want kids, I want to get married. When you get to a certain age, your sperm isn't good anymore, the quality starts to drop. I'm 30 years old, I'll go and freeze it. I'll go and pay for it to be frozen. Like, there's a way around everything. I'm on this planet to enjoy myself. I'm on this planet to have the time of my life, to do everything to the maximum. I told you guys before about breeders and game changers. I look out into the world and I see a lot of breeders. People who exist just to do it all again. Do what their parents did. I'll get a job, have a couple kids, get married, whatever, I'm happy with that. Look, I've got no problem with that. If they're happy and that's what gives them their buzz, fair enough. But I know there's a lot of you out there that are similar to me, who 9-to-5 job just sounds stupid. Getting married just sounds insane. Just like, that's nuts. I was talking to a guy the other day and I was saying to him about an ex-girlfriend I had when I was like 21. And I was like, she said to me once, how does it feel that this is the last vagina that you're ever going to touch? And he was like, oh my God, my missus has said that to me too. And I was like, how did you feel? And he was like, I shit myself. I was like, so did I. I was like, I couldn't wait to get out of there. And I feel like that's inside of all men. You know, where we were on like pirate ships. We were sailing around the world. We were trying to find new shit. We were challenging ourselves all the time. And now we live in this modern world where everything is very regimental. You know, you get your salary every single month, and what do you go and buy? I'm going to go and buy curtains. I'm going to go and buy a television, coffee table, a sofa, you know, the basics. Oh, I need a kettle. Oh, I need a spatula. I need spoons. Why are people's first purchases? Why aren't they fun shit? Like I thought to myself in for my living room, I thought to myself, it's going to be cold for the next 6 months, which it was. You know, we're coming out of that now. I want a high bar table, like a coffee restaurant or like a cafe type table, one of those high long ones. So in the morning the sun can hit me, but I'm inside the house, so I'm going to be warm, and I can sit and look out at the view and enjoy like a morning coffee or tea or something. It's just like that was instead of just spending it on stupid shit. Like, oh, it's Saturday, I have to go out and get drunk. Just like go and find actual pleasures in your life. You know, I thought to myself, if I can get two sofas, face them together, and have a fire table in the middle, the opportunities for that are unbelievable. I now have a rooftop bar scenario in my back garden, basically. So I can invite people around. 6 of us can sit on those sofas, sit in front of the fire table, you know, glasses of wine, we can have some food. Like, the possibilities are endless. The amount of chats that you can have out there, do you know what I mean? Like, the amount of whoever you're dating, if you're just fucking around, like the amount of experiences that you can have out there, especially in summer. It's just, this is the way I look at life, is like, how beneficial is it to me? How much fun can I rinse out of that one thing? Like, how enjoyable would that be? Would I be happy as a married man living in one single area with an expensive as fuck house, and the mortgage is just shy of what I'm earning every single month, and then we have 2 kids, and I'm kind of fucked off because I couldn't really afford them, but I love them because they're my kids, but now it's stifled my life and I can't really do anything. And look, one day I do want kids, but at the end of the day, if my life is so fucking cool and so much and so fun that having kids would ruin all of that, then I'm just going to keep delaying it and delaying it and delaying it until it's the right time. And if it never is the right time and I'm just having the time of my life, then look, possibility that I would never do it. I think I would force it forward, because I think you're not a real man until you've, you know, raised your kids. I think that would be, you'd learn a lot. Your ego would disappear as well, which I think would be very, very nice. But that traditional male life is like, you got to ask the question, why? You got to get married. Why? You have to have a job. Why? There's literally people like myself that I just fucking basically do what I want every day, and somehow it works. Like, I just decided I want to do that. I want to create that. I'm creating my own fucking Netflix, for God's sake. So if you guys are sat out there right now in a 9 to 5 job listening to this, or you're at home and you fucking hate your life, your job, whatever, just let me remind you that 3 years ago, maybe closer to 4, I was in I was in a good job, but I hated it. I was bored shitless. I'd go out for walks at lunch, and that was the highlight of my day. I'd go out for an hour and just stroll around London and just be like, oh my God, at least I'm outside. It's the only fresh air I can get. This is brilliant. And I used to dream about being in this position that I'm in right now. Well, just a couple years later, I'm a month away from having my own Netflix. And this is what I want to push across to you guys. I need you to start thinking differently. I need you to just start looking at the world from a different perspective. Like, not even thinking outside the box. Just transfer yourself to a different fucking dimension where everything that you ever wanted is possible. I don't want to get down that believe and achieve route. This is practical. But like I said, there's houses that are worth 2, 3, 4 times per month more than what I'm paying. But they're not as cool as my house. They're not as fun as my house. You walk around my house and you're like, oh, it'd be nice if you've got that. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it'd be so fun if I've got that in place. I've bought one of those. Oh, fuck, that's really fun. You know, location right in the center. There's just opportunities to go and do whatever you want when you want. Like, nothing's off limits. It's enjoyable 24/7. That's how life should be. That's why I think people should have 4 houses for 250,000 around the world instead of one probably medium-sized house in London, for the same price. It'd be a 2-bedroom flat for 1 million in a nice area. Okay, great, but what does that nice area offer? Well, bars, restaurants, and how much are they? Oh, well, they're kind of too expensive to eat at, so we only go every 2 weeks. We go out for food because we can't really afford it otherwise with the kids. That's not a life to me. That's not a life to me. Nowhere near as good as my life. I guarantee there's a guy out there right now who earns 10 times more than me, and his life is nowhere near as good as mine. Nowhere near as good. And I've barely scratched the surface too, because once this stream platform's built, I've got a lot of spare income. I can travel a ton more. I can go and do even more of the stuff that I'm doing right now. I can hire even more coaches, the language coaches, boxing coaches, stuff like that. I can hire even more. I can go and pretty much do whatever I want, travel where I want. I can buy, so when people say I would never buy like a yacht or a private jet, they're pointless purchases. They're really good purchases. Really fucking good purchases. Everyone looks at the world from my throat is ruined. From assets and liabilities kind of perspective. I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it from an assets and liability perspective. The way I look at assets and liabilities is completely different to other people. I look at it from like an enjoyment perspective. Most people look at it from financial perspective. Oh, the problem with having a private jet is it's going to cost you every single month, so that's a liability. But if you can afford it, isn't it much better to have a private jet than a house? Right? Oh, well, why would you do that? Because you can just rent a house. You can just rent a house. And I know people say you can rent a private jet, but if that jet is yours and it's there whenever you need it, well, your house doesn't really move. Your house is in one place. And you can have cool shit in your house, like I do. You can have the patio area, and you've got all friends out there, and you've got beautiful women with you, and whatever. Yeah, it's cool. Other people don't have that. That's great. That's a major benefit. You're out there listening to music with the fire pit on, and a beautiful woman sat next to you. You're going to have the time of your life, okay? That's really, really fun. But with a plane, private jet, you go, I'm going to fly to Barcelona. I'm going to fly to Milan. I'm going to now fly to this place, that place. With a yacht, the possibilities are endless. You could be in so many different places. You can park up in Monaco and watch the Grand Prix. You can go to so many beach resorts, or even take that yacht into certain bays. Like, I'm not sure if you can get one into the Amalfi Coast, but you can definitely get one into the Bay of Kotor, I'm sure, in Montenegro. But if you had a property there, do you know what I mean? That's so cool. That's what you want. Like, me sat with my best girl mate the other day, and she just looked at me and was like, this is so fucking cool. Like, we're working and we're sat outside, it's blue skies, we got the fire table on. I could do with a blanket. Yeah, I got one here. I could do with a drink. Yeah, we got that there. We got this, that, this. Like, it's just everything has a purpose. Everything has some fun meaning behind it. It's not just, look at me in my expensive car. Look at me in my expensive house that I actually fucking hate and I'm bored of. And 70% of these rooms I don't even use. Like, my house isn't even big, really. There's one, two, three. Well, there's 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms. This is a bedroom. I've turned it into an office. So we've got a bedroom, 2 bathrooms, an office room, a living room which connects to the patio, the balcony area. And that's just like one big, cool living space, which is a built-in kitchen too. That's not a lot. It's not that big. But I don't really need anything else. The only thing I could do with is a better view of the park. There's a beautiful park down there, like where everybody goes and is surrounded by bars and restaurants. That would be pretty cool. That'd be some added life setup. That'd be really good. But the point I'm making is it's only costing me 1,375 per month. You don't need crazy shit. You could have this place in the UK, then go and buy 4 houses in different areas in the world. You could, because you've saved your money and not spent it on stupid things that other people have spent it on. And I'm not talking about, oh, you bought a few pints down the pub. Like, obviously that helps, but I'm just saying you didn't go and buy that house for $1 million that you were gonna buy. You just decided to rent a place like this. but then you go and use that money for something more effective. So you went and bought, if you went and bought a fucking, I know you'd need staff on that boat, but if you went and bought a boat for like $1 million, you know, I'm sure you'd have 100% better, or 100 times more memories and better memories on that boat and so many different usages for it than you would just having that one kind of 2-bedroom flat house in fucking London, in a posh area where you're just simply paying for the postcode. You're not really getting any, you know, real world benefits or joy out of that. Like just having a pool at your house, like that alone, just having a pool. My neighbor had a hot tub on his rooftop. I never really wanted to go for that unless it was one of the wooden Scandinavian type ones. I think they look pretty good. But he had a hot tub. I'm sure he's got 1,000,001 stories just because he had a hot tub on his rooftop. Right? It's just that's how it works. That's how you have to think outside the box. Instead of spending your weekends going, you know, curtain shopping with the missus, and you find all these other women attractive that you're seeing while you're shopping, and you've got to rush back to go and pick up the kids from your mum's house, your mother-in-law's house, who you don't even get on with. It's like 99% of your life you fucking hate. You don't even enjoy it. And then you're living in a house that you don't really even enjoy. Somebody else has pretty much decorated the whole thing. You've been given a side man cave in the garage or the cellar or the attic or something that you can make into yours. The kids are always making it a mess. It's a house you didn't really want, but your missus said to you, it's got good schools and it's a safe area. Well, fair enough, but I'm kind of bored shitless. You know, and you're in a job that you hate just so you can keep the roof over their head because the mortgage payments are excessive. And then because you want to put your kids in the best possible school, that's costing you, you know, a bomb every single month. And what have you got left to enjoy yourself? Maybe £1,000 a year, and you go and spend it on a few sports packages and a season ticket for your favorite team, and you get shit because of that. Like, for me, it's just dead. It's just a dead existence. Like, I would probably rather have a jet ski than, let's say I lived in London and I owned, let's say I lived in London and I rented an okay place. Okay, I'll give you a better one. Let's say I live here, which I do, which is 2 hours from London on the train. And let's say I didn't have a car, because everything around here is walkable. I do have a car, but let's say I didn't. Everything around here is walkable. So cheap rent, it's all walkable. I just catch the bus if I need to. You know, the shops are within walking distance. So if I need food shopping, I can get it ordered to the house. Not a problem. Let's say I want to go to London for the day. I like going down there all the time, but I don't want to live there because it's too expensive. Well, it's only a 2-hour train journey, so I can go down there whenever I want. But I also own, for $250,000, a house in Montenegro, and I've got a jet ski, and that house is on the lake. And I can just blast around on my jet ski whenever I feel like it. Right? It's almost considered like, oh, that's childish. You always hear this, right? This is childish. Why don't you become a real man and get married and get a mortgage and settle down and have a couple kids? Like, that shit's kind of boring. Be honest, it's kind of fucking boring. There's a lot of guys out there right now that if you gave them a get out of jail free card to dodge everything that they're currently living in, you know, the job, the missus, the stress of the family ties, and you say, look, you can go back in time and you can do it all differently. You'll still have the same kids later down the line. Like, they'll be the exact same kids somehow. Don't know how. But it will be with a beautiful supermodel that you're going to meet 15 years later. But in that meantime, you're going to have the best 15 years of your life. A lot of guys would go, yeah, please let me take that option. And this isn't an attack on, like, wives or whatever, or kids. It's just, I've never seen them as, like, inherently masculine kind of things that you would want to chase. I always think men like enjoyment. Men want to do fun fucking shit. We want to do well, people in general want to do fun shit. But for some reason, society just says to us, once you find the one, or a partner, or anybody, you've got to then make your life boring as fuck. You've got to start ripping stuff apart. You've got to go, yeah, you need stuff like this, but you've got to go, like, furniture shopping. You got to go and buy hoovers. You got to go and buy a dustpan and brush and a chopping board and, you know, something to peel the potatoes with. And it's like, maybe I wanted to spend that £500 at a strip club this weekend. Just because. And I'm not saying you should do that. You should go there. I tried using an extreme example. But maybe that's what you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to take a flight to the Canary Islands and go and play golf with a buddy of yours. Maybe that's what you wanted to do. And I just feel like male life can be so much more than what you get told at school, what you get told in the media, what everyone presents to you. You can be a lot more wild than you think and you still have time. That's the biggest thing that I want to leave with you guys, okay? Is there's some reason there's pressures put on men where it's like, hey, you're 25 now, you better start looking for a partner. You better settle down, have some kids, get a solid job, get a mortgage. You know, you're not getting any younger. So that once guys hit their 30s, they shit themselves that they don't have those sort of things. But then you have a man like me who doesn't panic about anything, who's just like building his own fucking streaming platform, is going to be traveling around the world, can do whatever I want when I want. I just don't see the comparisons there, and still has the knowledge of knowing that at any moment I can tap into the female resource. If I want to, I can tap back into that whole thing of, okay, well, I'm going to go down the marriage route with kids. I'm starting to feel empty and lonely. I'm going to go and tap into all that stuff. It's always there. People don't realize how easy that is. It's like, oh, you've got this woman who's 25 years old. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She's my dream girl. Oh, she got a boyfriend. She's off the market. She's gone forever. She'll be 28, 29 years old and they'll break up and she'll be back on the market. Do you know what I mean? And she's only added 1 to her body count in that meantime. You're going to be 37 years old and you've been enjoying your life. You're rich as fuck. She's noticed you on social media. Now she's single. She messages you. Oh, now you're sleeping with your dream girl. But as soon as you do it, you're like, wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I'm not interested. My life is so cool. I can do this every single day if I want to with a different person. Like, there's just so many options out there for you as a man, and I just feel as though it doesn't get tapped into. It goes massively ignored. You know, settle down, get a good job, get the mortgage, get married, be a good guy. You know, you can't stay out too late. Don't stay out too late. You know, it's not fair. It's like all these fucking boundaries and rules just wrapping us up, just holding us back. There's massive fucking force fields that 10-year-old us would be pissed off about. 16-year-old us would be fuming. Because at 16, all of you, because I know I did, all of you thought you were going to be a multi-millionaire, successful superstar with a model girlfriend. All of you did. And then society starts to break you down. And step by step, you've become boring. You're doing less. You're going out on weekends and going to furniture shops to look at the sales. You know, and look at that old antique table. Isn't that nice? Oh, made of rustic wood. Oh, that one's made of teak. Oh, that's nice. I like the colour of that one. Excuse me, is that walnut? Or is that... It is. Okay, yeah, it's lovely. I think that would go well in the bedroom. This is what most guys' lives have succumbed to. Oh, we better get back. It's 4 p.m. We better go and do our lunchboxes for tomorrow because we've got work. A job you fucking hate that pays you shit money to keep a house that you can't afford above your head. With what they call a mortgage. It's just a fucking long-term loan. It's not impressive. It's not something you should be proud of. You should actually be gutted that you're in that situation. If you're tied down with a mortgage and it's a property that I own and I can sell it, it's not making you any money. If you want to talk about liabilities and assets, well, the house that you live in is a liability until you sell it. But if you're going to buy in like the UK, the US, like Canada and stuff like this, these countries that are already worldly established, the chances of that property skyrocketing and making you millions, just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. And it just makes me sad. Some of the scenarios that guys are in, they're so fucking boring. I was about to say, if I could, well, guess what? My life's about to be in a position with the stream platform, and I've set it up as such, where I am going to be able to. But I was going to say, if I could, I would do something different every single day. And it might be small, it might be big, but like my dream, here's what I'll outlay for you now. This is my dream week. And most guys will never be able to live like this. Most guys could never even dream of this. And this is why I want to do it. I wake up on the Monday. Maybe I film a project, crack on with something for the streaming platform. You know, we're on set. You go out that night for a dinner, you know, rooftop bar or something. You wrap up everything that you were filming. You just say to the guy who's editing it, hey, do you want to just jump on a flight? I feel like just going somewhere tomorrow. Or, you know, is there anything happening around here? Let's say we're in London. Is there anything? Oh, that club's usually really busy. Well, like, we're not drinking, because that's the thing. You can stay sober and you can do it 7 nights a week then. Oh, let's go to that club. Let's see how we get on. You meet some beautiful women. You take them home. You have sex. You wake up the next day and you're like, there's an event happening in Milan. I want to be there. I just want to go. The weather, it's raining here in London. I want to go to Milan. It's 25 degrees and sunny. Okay, let's go. Spend 2 days there. You do some shopping. You know, you jump on the plane again. You're like, where should we go next? Let's go over to... I feel like being in New York for 4 days. I feel like trying out all these top-level restaurants. I feel like networking with certain people. I feel like viewing penthouse houses. Not that I'm going to buy them. I just want to see them. I'm just going to go and view them. I'm just going to walk around. That's just what I feel like doing. I know it says my dream week. I just went off on one then. I don't think that is my dream week. But that sort of stuff where it's crazy, where you can just go, fuck it. I feel like doing this. The world is my oyster. The Mr. International thing that I spoke to you guys about. The fact that you can... The difference in quality of life. Like, imagine living somewhere in the US where your house has cost you $2 million. And the houses in the US are a lot better, to be fair. But let's say it's cost you $2 million. You're living in New York and your house is boring. It's old money. It's boring. It's kind of, you know, it's fancy, but there's not a lot going on. It's just, oh, here's your separate, smaller kitchen. So when you have a dinner party, you can have, it's like, fucking, that's boring. That's such boring shit. Oh, here's your gym in your house. Again, boring. I don't want to have a gym in my house. I want a gym in the gym so I can actually get out and meet people. I want to see people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people have just got money wrong. They don't understand it. They don't have any other fun shit. They don't understand life setup. They don't know how it works. Oh, I don't want a gym in my house. I want a 5-a-side football pitch. I want a basketball court. Well, that's fun. You know, because then I can invite people over and say, hey, do you want to use something that you normally wouldn't have access to? That's cool. I want a pool. I want a rooftop pool in my house. Well, on top of my house. With a massive garden area and sun lounges. Because then that way, when I invite 10 models over, they're going to be like, yes, I'm in. We can just sunbathe on the rooftop, swim in the pool. This guy is really cool. You know, we're gonna work on an idea together in the future. That's the promise, whatever. Yeah, sure, but let's all just hang out for a few days. Like, all of that shit is there. It's available. Now, I'm using extreme examples like 10 models and whatever to kind of drive it home in your brains, okay? So that you guys go, yeah, I get it. Life can be stupidly extreme. Like, there's people like Dan Bilzerian that actually exist, living the life that he lives. And people go, oh, he's paid for... It doesn't even matter if he did pay all of these women, which I don't think he is, but it doesn't matter even if he is. It's the fact that he's living that life. And there's other guys that are sat at their desk with a job they hate and a wife they hate, which with kids they love, but who get on their nerves and take up all their time. And they did just go and buy that new sofa on the weekend, and they love that sofa. And, you know, he went sofa shopping, and he was bored shitless, but it was like, hey, it's a good quality Purpose. And guess what? One of the kids throws up on it, spills a drink on it. For fuck's sake. Like, this is most people's lives. I would honestly say 99% of men don't enjoy the lives that they're in. And probably 99% of the time, they're not fucking happy with what they're doing. Probably a little bit less. Probably like 80% of the time. It's just like one day on the weekend. Like Friday night, Saturday, Sunday mornings. That's it. And the rest of the time, it's like, fucking I got work. Can't wait for my next day off. Oh, it's a bank holiday next week. Can't fucking wait. Why do you think people get so drunk? Especially in the UK. If we have a bank holiday, people are like, I'm going to drink. until I pass out for 3 days. I'm going to get fucked. I'm going to be in the pubs till late. They're basically just drowning their sorrows away. They're basically trying to forget how shit their lives actually are. And that's the message I want to put across to you guys, is that there's so much more you can be doing. There's so much more out there. And it's in everything that we do. It's in every decision that you make. There's days where I sit here and I'm like, hey, I've done everything. I'm kind of bored. What the fuck do I do? And I just get up. I just go outside. I just jump in my car, drive somewhere, search on the internet, fun shit that's going on. Okay, well, I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to turn up. I'm just going to go and enjoy that, watch that, see what's going on there. There's a new restaurant that's opened up. Hey, I just knock on the door. You know, are you offering free samples or whatever? Yeah, sure. Do you want to try this? Do you want to take a seat? Yeah, I'll come in. Like, you can just do whatever the fuck you want to do when you want to do it, as long as you set your life up in the correct way. But it's been forgotten. That's how pirates used to live. That's how, the explorers of yesteryear used to live. Do you know what? We're just going to book an expedition to the New World and we're going to leave next month. We're going to need these supplies. This guy's decided to fund it. Sorry, wife. I will see you in 4 years. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I think you should stick there. If you've got a wife and kids, whatever, you just stick with them. But this is how men used to live. I'm off. I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to go and enjoy myself and see what the world has to offer. I'm going to go and live in another place for 6 months and just enjoy the culture. I'm going to buy a property in this place because it's cheaper, but it's cool as fuck. I have a pool on site. I have access to this bay. I have a jet ski in that bay and a small boat. I have 4 bedrooms so family can come and stay and whatever, and friends can come and stay. I own a modeling agency in the area, so I've got access to all the beautiful women. Okay, like this is the shit that you can possibly do. You've got, you build an extension. Let's say it is somewhere like Montenegro. You build an extension on top. So then you have a small pool up there and some sun lounges and whatever. And you're like, my life's fucking amazing. You're flying friends and people out and connections and whatever to just hang out with you. And people are using it as like a holiday base. And it's just so much cool shit you can do. It's like I said to you guys before, if you were living in like a beachy area, if you were living somewhere like the Maldives, you wouldn't want a Bugatti, would you? You'd want a Jeep. You'd want a rooftop, like a Jeep where you can take the roof off and you can just feel that breeze hitting you and you can go off-road and you can just steam along the beach on it. Like, you would want that experience. That's way more fun. Everything's so uniform in the modern era. Everything's so, you can't play ball games on the grass. Oh, you can't do that. There's regulations against that. Oh, don't take that risk. We're not even living life. And I look at life in a completely different way. I look at each purchase of what's the most fun? What's the best one for enjoyment? Which one am I going to use most that's going to make me feel happiest? What can I do that... Like, I always see fucking videos of people online who have built like a lounge chair that that's got like an engine and somehow they've made it road legal. And I'm not saying to do that. I probably wouldn't do something like that. But you're just like, that's the type of guy that I'm talking about. Somebody who's just gone, fuck it. This will be fun. Oh, but it looks weird. It's like, yeah, but this guy's fucking having the time of his life. Instead of investing in like some boring publishing company or something, you invest in like a rooftop bar. So now you have access to this place whenever you want. It's just like everything has a purpose. These rich guys that start their own modeling agency so they can sleep with all the beautiful women. Like they get it. That's life setup. They've understood that. Okay, there's so much by way of decision making in male life. There's so many little fucking decisions. And if you don't get them right, I promise you guys, you're fucked. You're fucked because your life suddenly doesn't become yours. You need your time, your money, your decisions, your assets, your enjoyment, your experiences. You need all of that to be within your control. All of it. Like, the 2 main women in my life right now is the woman that I'm seeing and my best friend. And like best girlfriend. And we've all had separate discussions, and those two don't know each other. They know of each other. They don't know each other by like to have a chat with. I'm sure it'll happen in the future. But I've had the same discussion with both of those women where they've been like, I think you'd really enjoy like an open relationship. I think you'd be happy with somebody who'd do like an open relationship and stuff like that. And you just chat to them, you're like, do you not think that's like a cooler way to live though? Do you not think like it's just fucking fun? Like, would I want my woman doing that? That's a different question. But don't you think, but women quite like that. They quite like to be loyal. They quite like to have one man and, you know, that whole situation. But I'm really into like the fucking hippie commune thing. I'm not sure I'm ever going to do that. I'm just saying, I just think it's cool. When it's just like 20 people living in one area and there's everybody sleeping with everybody, is free love and whatever, and all of that shit from back in the day. I probably wouldn't do that because I've got different standards to that. But there's elements of that hippie lifestyle that needs to come back again in this modern era. You know, having cool shit, having, you know, an area that you make your own. Like the way that gypsies just go, I'm going to park my caravan here. Look at that beautiful view. We've got access to this place and that place. We can walk the dogs around here. It's just like you just choose stuff that gives you enjoyment. And like I said, I look at those hippie communes back in the day and I'm like, they just sat around smoking weed, just fucking each other, just having the time of their life. That's not my goal, and I don't expect it to be your goal either, guys, because I think the world's moved on since then. But they were probably happy as fuck, with no stresses, no issues. Do you know what I mean? Everybody kind of just chipped in, and we've lost that now. We're an isolated society. It's not like everybody round here knocks on my door, hey, there's something happening in the street. Everyone's just come outside and they're all having a few beers on the street. Everyone's enjoying themselves, you know. There's live music being played. Do you want to, you know, come down and get involved? I'd be like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. That never happens anymore. Everybody comes home, sits on their own in front of a TV with their missus in a small group. We're all in these tiny, tiny little tribes. There's people sat alone watching a TV at night. Like I could put a cinema screen up on my rooftop. Now who wants to come and watch a film at mine up on the rooftop on this nice like summer's evening? Oh yeah, I'd love to. That'd be great. Like it's just those experiences. Do you know what I mean? Getting people together, really enjoying life in the correct way. It's in everything, guys. I've tried to give you as many examples as I could of different groups of people that have done it, and that's what you need to look for in your own life. That's what you need to strive for. That ultimate freedom. The other side of male life. Everything I've ever described to you guys. Living in multiple places. Having quick access to top level cities without having to pay top level city prices. And then it gives you, so like for example, living here compared to London probably saves me like £8,000 a month if I wanted a place that was similar. Well, then that gives me £8,000 per month if I wanted to go and drive or jump on a train and get to London to go out, enjoy myself and do stuff in London. So what would you rather? Would you rather live in London and pay massive bills but have a shit quality of life? Or would you rather live somewhere like here, travel to London in 2 hours, and have so much money spare every time you get there that you can do whatever the fuck you want, where you want, in whatever hotel you want, Airbnb you want, whatever. It's like, you've got so much money spare, you're going to have a 10 times better time. And I know because I've lived in London compared to how I live now. And it's like, when I go down to London now, I do more in 2 or 3 days than I used to do in a month when I actually lived there. It's all about your setup. It's all about enjoyment. It's all about how you build your life. Purchases, the people that you spend time with. You know, when you have your kids, when you decide to settle down with one woman, the way in which you decide to settle down. Is she just going to be like hassling you? You need to be here doing this on this day. I'm going to give you shit for the rest of your life. Just get rid of her. Like your enjoyment is more important than anything else. But we've lost that. We've lost that. My dad was brilliant at that. But we've lost that in the world. Not doing things for the purpose of having fun. For enjoying it. For having the best possible experience. For, you know, just making yourself happy. Like people will... People will be in a relationship and they'll argue for like fucking 3 months, and then they'll break up and they'll bitch about each other. They'll, all this shit. And it's like, you could have been so much happier if you had just sat down and gone, what do you want? I want to fuck other people. What about you? Yeah, I wouldn't mind fucking other people too. Cool. Let me shake your hand. Go and have fun. Go and fuck some other people. I'm going to fuck some other people. Enjoy your life. Like, I might see you around. If we do, we could fuck. Like, who knows? Like, that just, I don't know what, like, that is so simple, but it's something that people will just not tap into in this era. Everyone's so highly strung all the time. Always, and I've been there building this business and stuff like that at different times, but I've always like laughed it off and tried to have a bit of fun and, let off some steam. And I've always known about this sort of stuff, but like what people worry about is just stupid. Oh, the fucking car broke down, the car's in trouble. Do you need a car to get to work? No, just fucking sell it. If it's causing you stress, just scrap the thing. Who gives a shit? Oh, my missus is always nagging me. She makes my life hell. Just get rid of her. Why are you even telling me? Why are you still together? Just end it. You're clearly not happy. And once you start making decisions like that, once you start living like that, where you just go, well, throw it out then. What's the problem? It doesn't make me happy. It goes in the bin. Like, like Instagram and TikTok were pissing me off. I just uninstalled them. It's as easy as that. Oh, this girl's annoying me. Block. Oh, I want to go and do this today, but they don't do it in this country. I'll just go and catch a flight and go and actually do it in that other country. Oh, it's raining for the next 2 weeks in the UK. Okay, well, where's it warm? Barcelona is 20 degrees and sunny for the next 2 weeks. I'm just going to go out there and come back with a tan. Brilliant. Okay, well, how are you going to work from there? Laptop. Oh, you're so lucky that your life is set up in a certain way where you can work from a laptop. It's not luck. I've done it that way. I've set my life up in a way where I can do that sort of stuff. Everything you do has to be about freedom and enjoyment, guys. I hope that message is coming across, because to people who aren't used to this channel, I might sound like a nutcase right now. But you don't have to live the traditional male life. You don't have to live the life that you see. The people I see on the street, everyone's a fucking clone of one another. They're wearing the same shit. They're going to the same places, doing the same thing every weekend. They've all got the same ambitions, which is find a woman, get married. I'm just saving for a mortgage. It's like, you're just bricks in the wall, all of you. And it's not even a money thing. It's not like you could be broke and have a much better life than most people. Like I said, the experience of my patio area, like all in all, that this place probably cost me just shy of 16,000 per year. Now that I've actually bought the sofas, the fire tables, the covers, everything and whatever, you might be looking at like 18,000 for a year's worth of fun out there. Like a year's worth of memories. Like a 6 months worth of spring and summer. And then maybe some autumn nights and, early spring nights and whatever. But it might be like 8 months of the year that you can get out there and use that. Like I said, I can set up a big cinema screen out there somehow. We just sort that out with a projector. Okay, now we're watching movies outside. Like, it's so cool. Oh, okay, we're just going to go and get 2 more heaters, patio heaters. We're going to put them up on the wall. We're going to get a very large umbrella. Okay, so we've had to spend another 500 quid. But now those 3-4 months in winter where it's way too cold to be out there, now it's warm enough and the rain and snow and whatever can't hit us. So now I can sit outside using a fire table, having a chat, and I'm warm. I could even be in a half-sleeve fucking t-shirt probably with all of my friends having the time of our lives while other people are skidding down the road in a car that they can't afford because it's snowed and it's icy and they have to get to work, or they're rushing back from work because they've got to get back because they've got to pick up the kids that they didn't want, that they can't afford, from a school that they can't afford. And, they get home and the missus is pissed off with them. She's arguing. She's super annoyed about something he didn't do that morning. He hates his life. I just don't... Do you know what I mean? It's like, why are you putting that stress on yourself? Why are you doing that to yourself? That just sounds fucking nuts. Like, even my streaming platform, it's my dream job, and it's been a goal for like 10 years, but it's also a great form of life setup. There is not a single project or idea that I couldn't come up with that can benefit an area of my life. You know, sorry guys, I just kicked the camera. But if there's something I want to do, something I want to achieve, I've basically got an excuse. So if I've ever wanted to visit a certain penthouse and I want to see it, and they only let billionaires in there to see it, and I'm like, yeah, but we've got a stream platform and the show is the world's best penthouses. Can we come and have access? Oh yeah, sure. You can come in. You can come and film. It just like opens doors. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm seeing somebody at the moment, but if I was single and I wanted access to some of the most beautiful women in the world, I could just message a few and be like, we've got a part in Biohackers where it's an unrealistically beautiful group of women because they've been biohacked, bioengineered to look that way. Would you like to feature in our new series? Yeah, I'd love to do that role. Okay, auditions are going to be on this day. Like I pay admin staff to go and put that out there, that advert out there, and like go and headhunt people. Okay, now on the day of auditions, I'm there and I get to speak one-to-one to 500 of the most beautiful women in the world. You know, one or two of them you're probably going to end up going on a date with. Like they're going to like you or show signs of that they really like you or say something that gives you that inkling or whatever. You know, you shake their hands downstairs, you bring them up for the audition, whatever. You're meeting each one personally. Do you know, like it's just everything that you do has the ability to make your life better. But everyone almost thinks that life happens to them. There's that Ric Flair quote. He went absolutely crazy one day. I know it's cocaine behavior, but he was like, you can't just sit around and let life happen. You have to go out and make an assault on life itself. That's what I'm talking about. Everything you do should be in your control. Oh, I want access to beautiful women. Easy. It's so easy to set up. Oh, I want access to people who are like me, very like-minded. There's certain places you can go to where you're going to find that. Oh, I don't want... My bills are too high. Move. Change your lifestyle. Lower it all. Get rid of the stress. Why have you got that? There's always a solution. There's always something you can do. Oh, I just want to surf all day. Okay, well, build a business where you can work from a laptop, move to a remote place where they have fantastic waves, live out there and work from the laptop. You know, and if things come crashing down, you're like, oh, I can't really earn a wage from this anymore. Well, then you go back to normal life until you can go and do it again. But you had maybe 5 years of your life where it was fun as fuck and you weren't sat in an office just bored shitless, just typing away. You know, people get annoyed when it's like it wouldn't last forever, and it's like, but it lasted for a while. You only live like we live 80 years, but maybe like 65 of those are conscious, and then maybe like 40 of those are quality, where you're not too old, you're not too young, you know, and all that shit. So out of those 40 years, if 5 of them were spent doing exactly what you've always dreamt of doing, well, that's a benefit. You only have to do something with the other 35 to, you know, have some level of enjoyment. To call it a perfect life, if you would. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've sacrificed the first 10 years of my adult life, so now I can go and do whatever the fuck I want to do. Some people might do it in a different order, but I thought, let's front load it, and now let's give myself 30 of the best years of my life out of those possible 40 that are incredible, and I can go and do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. Everything is set up. Everything is a decision. You don't get to where you are today being pissed off with a wife you don't want, kids you don't want, etc. My throat is in ruins now. I'm going to end this video soon. You know, bills that are far too large for you, stressed with like chest pains and everything. You don't get to that position by accident. You got to that position from the decisions that you made. And it might have been purposeful. It might have been because you're trying to accomplish something really tough and big. But it might also be because other people have told you to go and do a 9-to-5 job and go and work in finance because that's, you know, where the money is. And before you know you wake up one day and you're like, I fucking hate every part of my life. I hate Sunday nights. I hate fucking Monday mornings. I love Friday nights. I love Saturdays. Like, You'll end up as one of those guys that's in those positions, and then you'll have kids, you'll have a missus, you'll get the mortgage, you'll get married, and you'll have so many bills that you end up hating the weekends. There's so many guys that are older than me that I used to work with, and they'd say, what are you doing this weekend? Kids' birthday parties, not even their own. They've got to take their kids to birthday parties of other kids that they go to school with. And he was like, I swear to God, it's somebody's fucking birthday every weekend. And I was like, well, it makes sense because there's only 52 weeks. They're not going to celebrate on a Wednesday. They're going to have a party on the weekend, aren't they? I was like, so as long as there's like 30 kids in a class and then they've got friends outside of that, I was like, most of those weekends are going to be taken up by kids' birthday parties. And I remember as a kid, we'd have like 20 fucking parties a year that you'd go to, different friends. That's what his life is spent doing now. Comes to work, takes the kids, you know, to fucking birthday parties. I remember he used to say to me he doesn't have sex with his missus anymore. He was like, last time we had sex was when we had our kids. You know, it's boring. Like, people are suffocating their own lives. Like, if I said to that guy right now, I can pluck you out of your life, okay? Your kids, you know, your kids are just going to reappear when you're ready in 10 years' time. You're going to be able to continue what you were doing. But I can pluck you out of that right now. And I can put you in, like, Miami or something, on a beach house, or in a beach house in Hawaii, and you can just do whatever the fuck you want to do every day. You can just float about and just, you know, drift through life. He'd take that immediately. Of course he would. So it's like, if you would take that over what you currently have, then why do you have what you currently have? I don't understand that. Because life doesn't happen to you. You make life happen. So if you're not in a situation that you're happy with, or there's another way of living that you'd be happier doing, then why aren't you doing it? Why have you made certain decisions that you weren't happy with, that were unselfish, that have handcuffed you, that have put you in a dog shit position where you're not happy? I've never understood that. And as this channel changes and I go full time on the stream platform, and my life will change drastically moving forward, you guys are about to see a lot of the stuff I just spoke about. I don't know if this video is any good. I'll have to watch it back, but I hope this, you know, I will obviously do content in the future, but I hope this is like, I hope this hammers home everything that I'm trying to achieve with you guys. It all ties into the straight 7 system, the male advantage, you know, improving so that you've got more options, so your life is better. All this shit, like, everything ties into what I just spoke about there. That's the core fundamental. That's what this channel was always about. Just have a better life. Do all the shit you've ever dreamt about. Visit all the places you've ever wanted to go. Sleep with whoever you wanted to sleep with. Have all the options in the world. Drive whatever drive whatever 10 cars that you want to drive. There's so much that you can do. You can be whoever you want to be. Like, it's there for the taking. But if you're currently in a situation that you don't like and you don't enjoy it, well then if you're really young, it's just happened to you. But if you're a little bit older, or if you're in your like mid-20s or whatever, that's not by accident. Life doesn't just go, hey, here's your ticket. This is what's written on it. This is your life moving forward. The steps you take and the things you do accumulate to put you in almost like a cause and effect scenario. It's like, here's the things that you were doing, here's the decisions that you made, here's the purchases that you made, here's the result that you got from all of those things. Oh, you added a bit of red, a bit of blue, a bit of yellow, a bit of green, you got dark brown. Okay, like, I don't know if that's true, but that's how it works. It's just based on what you do. Like, when people say to me, you're lucky, you can do whatever you want every day, I'm like, that's not luck. That's not luck. The knowledge that I have obviously has helped towards like building this life, but I turned down a lot of opportunities to make a lot more money so that I could stay free, so I could always do what I wanted to do. And it's not luck. It comes from, you know, like going to the gym for 6-7 years, working on so many different elements of like my physical appearance, and then dating beautiful women. Oh, you're lucky. It's like, again, it's not luck. It's crazy. Putting hundreds of thousands back into the business, and then having your own stream platform where you can pretty much do whatever you want every single day of your life for the rest of your life. Oh, you're so lucky that you've got that platform. No, because you put hundreds of thousands into one single house, which was the example that I just used, and now you're bored and your bills are too high and you're pissed off. Well, I put it into something that was going to reward me, that was going to pay me more, so that I'd have endless amounts of cash, no boss, ultimate freedom, and an excuse to ask people, to do whatever I want to do. I want, with the stream platform, it just gives you so much leverage. I want to sit cage side at a UFC fight. Okay, well, let's do a deal with Dana White and the UFC so that we can air the UFC on our platform instead of BT Sports, who have currently got it. Okay, well, Dana, considering that I put your shows out on my platform, can I get ringside tickets for the next event? Yeah, sure. Like, of course it's going to be a yeah, sure. Do you know what I mean? But you'd be rich enough by that point to make that happen anyway. But you're on first name basis and you're a business partner. You're going to be cage side. Hey, beautiful woman, do you want to come with me to watch this massive fight this weekend? We're cage side. We got tickets. Yeah, sure, I'd love to. And then people, oh, that guy's lucky. Like, I wish I had his life. It's all thought out setup. Everything. Every single aspect. Every single element. Everything you do. Okay? Down to the fucking cologne that you buy. All the way up to the house that you buy. Like, literally everything is thought through. Meticulously. I'm going to end it there because my voice is just going to fade away.